You are watching yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday, and you know what those days mean. It's time for another AEW Event Center report for either Dynamite, Rampage, or Collision. And now, here is the host of the AEW Event Center Wrestling Report, New Bedford's version of Tony Schiavone, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans, 1977, episode 1826 of the show. How's it going, everybody? We are about to be done for today, but before we call in the night, we got to talk about what happened just recently on AEW Dynamite. There is an all-star 8-man tag team match of Ricochet, Powerhouse Hobbs, Will Ospreay, and Mark Davis joined forces against the Don Callis families, Brian Cage, Lance Archer, Kyle Fletcher, and the international champion Konosuke Takeshita. And during the matchup, they took out Hobbs for a bit. Hobbs was hobbling in the back. It was a 4-on-3 situation until Hobbs came back out. And despite that, and despite the fact that their best efforts, the Don Callis family ended up winning the matchup after Will Ospreay accidentally hit Mark Davis with his finishing maneuver. And so a little friendly fire. Let's see what happens in that situation. The Death Riders address Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. As you know, Darby Allin going one-on-one with Claudio Castagnoli. And Darby Allin decided to respond. Claudio says, I'm going to take you guys one by one. And Claudio did it first. Renee Paquette interviewed the Hurt Syndicate. And the Hurt Syndicate had an announcement to make that Bobby Lashley will be making his AEW in-ring debut tonight. So, but as they were about to finish up the interview, Swerve Strickland came from behind, hits Lashley in the face with his hand wrapped around in chains, and he decided to run off afterwards. Meanwhile, Adam Cole comes to the ring to address the Reading crowd about MJF. Kyle O'Reilly interrupts Adam Cole saying, listen, you gotta stop having your friends stop fighting your battles for you. And so your obsession with MJF's gotta stop somehow. And I can understand where Kyle O'Reilly's coming from. Kyle O'Reilly's worried, and Adam Cole sitting there just doing a lot of thinking about this. Orange Cassidy responds to Moxley. He said, hey, I'll fight you guys alone. And he asked, and the conglomeration came out and said, hey, listen, man, listen, I'm doing this alone. No matter what happens, please do not come out. That's what you want? Okay. And so, women's action, Hikaru Shida versus Chris Statlander. And Chris Statlander ended up winning the matchup. And as both women shake hands, Mercedes Moné and Camille, whose arm's in a sling, come out to interrupt Statlander. And then, as the fans were chanting, and Mercedes Moné says, I'm getting ticked off, Camille, deal with us. And Camille was hesitant because she has arm in a sling, but Statlander and Shida took care of that, took care of Camille, and then Statlander ended up dropping Moné with that tombstone of hers, and that is the end of that. MVP and Shelton Benjamin thought they saw Swerve, and they thought they attacked Swerve. It was some dude wearing a fur coat similar to Swerve. You know how angry you get and you find somebody it always has been a wrestling thing. You go and you get angry at somebody that attacked your guy, and you end up attacking somebody similar to that person. I'm like, it's like that shows you that if you let your anger get the best of you, you're not going to think straight. And if you don't think straight, you're going to make a mistake that you may later on regret. And believe me, that happens sometimes. Time and time again. Jay White and Adam Page addressing their matchup over at for that matchup at Full Gear. And Adam Page is possessed. He is. I never see him this angry. He said, I'm going to hurt you. Jay White, and and Jay White says, I'm going to hurt you. So we'll see what happens. This is the final Dynamite before Full Gear this Saturday. Now there's a handicap match, a 2-on-1. Bobby Lashley took on Joe Keys, and one of the most popular Ring of Honor wrestlers finally made his AEW debut, Cheeseburger. That's right, Cheeseburger. If you haven't heard of the guy, watch his stuff in Ring of Honor. That's all I'm going to say. Lashley ended up winning the matchup. But then Swerve's music hits. Prince Nana comes out with a chair, luring Shelton Benjamin away from the ring, which Swerve came out from under the ring, attacking Lashley with that same chain. And then he knocks out MVP, and him and Prince Nana escape through the crowd. And so there's that. Renee Paquette interviewed the AEW Women's World Champion Mariah May and the lovely, gorgeous, and I'm going to confess this right here, right now. All right? Now, as you know, I love some of the ladies in AEW. You know, Hikaru Shida. I like Harley Cameron. Timeless Tony Storm. I'll get to Timeless Tony Storm in just a moment. And Layla Gray, I'm starting to like her a little bit more. But here's the deal. When it comes to the Stardom sensation, Mina Shirakawa, I am going to say this, and I tweeted this out, that Mina Shirakawa is the sexiest woman ever to come out from Japan. I'll say it right now. Well, as far as female wrestler is concerned, Mina Shirakawa is the sexiest woman to come from Japan. As a wrestler from Japan. Io Sky, love her. She's too cute. You know, Julia is beautiful as well. I ranked them second and third. If I had a top 5 favorite Japanese female wrestlers, Mina Shirakawa is number 1. Io Sky, number 2. Julia, number 3. Hikaru Shida, number 4. And number 5, I would have to say, would be Kairi Sane. So, but Mina Shirakawa, sexiest woman to come out of Japan. I'm saying it right now. I love Mina Shirakawa. And so, they're going to have, and there'll be a tag team action this coming Friday night on Rampage. And then Mariah May was holding up the title and says, you have this or you die. So they're gonna have a champagne celebration. But here's why I mentioned Toni Storm. There's reports going on that Toni Storm has announced her retirement from wrestling. But here's the crazy part. Throughout the broadcast of AEW Dynamite, there was no mention of that at all. So what does that tell you? Folks? Is it a work? I hope it is. I think it is. If they didn't mention it, they did not mention it on live TV, there's something going on. And I'm telling you right now, I think mind games are afoot. I think Toni Storm is digging deep into the other part of professional wrestling. It's a psychological, trying to have a psychological advantage. Is she going to be going back to gun after Mariah May? I mean, the biggest question, I love Toni Storm, and it'd be sad if she actually did retire. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I wonder if something more going on. She hasn't announced that she's pregnant or anything. But the fact of the matter is if that's the case, I'm being like, oh my gosh, Juice Robinson actually did it. But I don't know. I don't know what's going through the mind of Toni Storm right now. Is she going back from Timeless to the punk rocker? Has she found herself again? Or is she leveling up to another persona that we have not seen before from Toni Storm? We don't know. The mind games are continuing, and I think she's going to have us all fooled. I don't know. Something's going to happen at Full Gear, maybe. I don't know. I know Grand Slam Australia is next year, well, a few months from now, and believe me, all I know is Toni Storm is doing something to the old noodle up here. And I think she's thinking clearly. I think this is all a work, playing mind games with Mariah May, making Mariah May think that Toni Storm's out of her hair. But you gotta remember, Toni Storm has aligned herself with Mina Shirakawa during her time in Japan as well. So, maybe Mariah May is going to confront Mina about that? I don't know. This is going to be a very interesting situation, to say the least. All I know is, this could be a storyline that, if it is a shoot, if it is a work, this could be a storyline that can really level up. So I gotta hunt. If it is actually true, and not a work, I'll be feeling very sad because I like Toni Storm. And if that's to be the case, I'm going to replace Toni Storm with Harley Cameron as the sexiest woman to wrestle, to come out of Australia. That's right. If I think Mina Shirakawa is the sexiest woman, female wrestler to come out of Japan, I do believe that Harley Cameron will be the sexiest female wrestler to come out of Australia. I said it. I don't care. You guys can go, beep, beep. I don't care. All right? Make like a remote control contestant in third place go off the air. All right? That's all I'm going to say on that matter. Moving on. Darby Allin went one-on-one with Claudio Castagnoli. As you know, Darby Allin tried to do everything he could, but Claudio Castagnoli did defeat him after powerbombing him on a table at ringside. Renee Paquette interviewed Private Party as they were addressing the Fatal 4-Way matchup for the World Tag Team titles, defending against the House of Black, the Outrunners, and the Acclaimed. And then Big Boom AJ and Big Justice interrupts them. They say they have a special announcement. MJF pulls up at some kind of trailer park home or something like that, throws some money at the homeless guys and go get it. And then Roderick Strong, he addressed Roderick Strong in his childhood where his mom shot his dad, and he said, you're going to wish that, MJF's words, not, he says, Roderick Strong, is what MJF said to Roderick Strong. You're going to wish that your mom did not shoot your dad, but instead shot you. That was cold and disgusting. MJF is that Beavis-looking butthead. If I had a team called Team Loudmouth for Survivor Series, or Team People that will love to shut up in the ring and put duct tape on their mouths, and The Miz will be one of them. MJF will be another. Chris Jericho would be another. Ethan Page, All Ego, and Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller, that I like to call the Australian Beavis. Those 5 gentlemen, put them in a Survivor Series team, and if I had to face them, all 5 of them, 5-on-1, I'd be like brass knuckles. Boom, 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 boom. Shut them up. How dare MJF to disrespect Roderick Strong like that? Come on. But Renee Paquette interviewed Big Boom AJ and Big Justice as Big Boom AJ goes one-on-one with QT Marshall at the 0 hour of Full Gear. And Big Boom AJ used to be a professional wrestler, I think, 20 years ago. You haven't wrestled in 20 years. Yeah, but, and you know what I'm going to want is my timekeeper. Big Justice says his best friend, the Rizzler. Who's the Rizzler? I don't know. We'll find out at Full Gear. Tony Schiavone interviewed Roderick Strong along with the Undisputed Kingdom. Roderick Strong, he said that those comments by MJF did not even bother him. I'll tell you one thing, more power to Roderick Strong. A lot of respect for him on that. But he says he gets his hands on you and beats the crap hands on MJF and hopes to beat him at Full Gear. Can't wait. Roderick Strong, I'm rooting for you, bro. And I hope, and since Roderick Strong's nicknamed the Messiah, the Backbreaker, I hope that Roderick Strong breaks MJF's backs more times than not, to the point where MJF won't be able to have sexual Alicia Toot for about 3 or 4 months. I'm hoping Roderick Strong beats him to that point. That's for sure. Matt Menard and Dale Garcia continuing on confronting Jack Perry, tying him up, handcuffed him to a chair, started taunting him and yelling at him and all that. He said, you don't understand what I've been through. And then he said, I got something. And when Jack Perry spit in Garcia's face, he said, I got something for you. He grabbed a crowbar. He says, what are you going to do? The crowbar hit me. But instead, he took his anger out on Jack Perry's scapegoat van and smashes one of the headlights. You know what? I'm hoping he does that to Jack Perry at Full Gear and takes his TNT title. And Renee Paquette oversees the contract signing between Chris Jericho and Tomohiro Ishii. Chris Jericho gets up, hi guys. I'm like, oh God. Chris Jericho's a freaking geek. Like I said, he's got this stupid, hi guys. I'm like, bye Jericho, whammo. That's what I feel like doing. Man, Jericho, man. Hi guys. I'm a geek. Jericho, you look like a geek. You stupid idiot. You made a list. Anyways, so he goes, I gotta, get this contract, read over this contract and get it over, go over the contract with my, the team seen already. And he gets up, he starts walking away, Tomohiro Ishii. It's like, Chris Jericho acts like a total little kid. He's like, no, I'm gonna, And he gets to the ring, he says, I don't have a pen. And Tomohiro Ishii pulls out a pen into the ring. And then Brian Keith and Big Bill attacks him. Of course, Jericho's got this set up. My goodness, what in the world, Jericho? And then the conglomeration helps out Ishii. Finally, when they finally clean house and knocks out Chris Jericho, Ishii grabs the contract, signs it, it's official. Ring of Honor World title on the line next week, Thanksgiving Eve. Chris Jericho defends it against Tomohiro Ishii. And, here's the crazy part. Thanksgiving is an American holiday celebrated. You got a Canadian fighting a Japanese dude. I tell you what, though. Hey, you know what? I'm rooting for Tomohiro Ishii to beat the crap out of Jericho. And if he does, I'm naming Ishii an honorary American. That way. And say somebody invite Ishii over for Thanksgiving. Let him see what the American Thanksgiving tradition is all about. And you know what, though? You know what? He doesn't have to do that because he's already going to experience it. He's fighting a turkey in the middle of the ring. and personally, I hope Ishii stuffs that Thanksgiving turkey in Jericho. A bunch of turkeys. That Jericho is a turkey. Hey, Turkey Jericho. Stuff Jericho like a Christmas turkey, man. Thanksgiving turkey, man. Thanksgiving's coming up. Why not? Ishii can already experience American Thanksgiving. He can stuff a turkey. And carve him up, too, while he's at it. I come up with some good ones, man, let me tell you. But then Renee Paquette interviewed Jamie Hayter and Jamie Hayter is like, I don't know why I never spoke to Julia Hart before, but if she wants to chat. Well, there was another video vignette that interrupted Jamie Hayter once again, had Julia Hart aiming her arrows at the bullseye. I'm going to make like Julia Hart aiming for the bullseye on Friday when I played the bonus round on this channel. So, well, on that. But one day at a time, we're going to worry about tomorrow. But we're not done yet. Main event, Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta go one-on-one. And Wheeler Yuta kind of took his eye off the ball. Orange Cassidy beats him and then Pac, we haven't seen the whole night until now, attacks Cassidy after the matchup. Claudio Cassidy only gets involved, and Wheeler Yuta, all three were stomping him as Moxley and John Moxley and Marina Shafir head to the ring. And John Moxley hands Pac some duct tape, makes sure he puts his hands in his pocket. They put the duct tape around Cassidy, and each of them took turns pushing him, shoving him, kicking him, and then Orange Cassidy gets knocked down. And then as they were retreating from the ring, all the other members of the conglomeration come up. They cut him loose, and then Orange Cassidy finally got up and acted defiance. He puts his hands in his pants again, and John Moxley's like, that didn't bother him. So, yeah. So that is it for AEW, the final AEW Dynamite before Full Gear, coming this Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's what I think of you, Jericho. I can't do it. Crap. Yeah. So, hey, we're going to have some fun with this. And no Harley Cameron. She said that we better watch AEW Dynamite on Twitter. We didn't see you, and we didn't see the lovely Harley Cameron. What's up with that? I don't know. Well, that's Harley Cameron for you. But that's how she is. She wants to advertise about AEW Dynamite. She wants to get people watching it. And I understand that. I watched it. It was a lot of fun. So, I will see you guys later. This is all the time we have. Episode 1826. Remember, tomorrow's Press Your Luck. Big bucks, no whammies. Let's see. And we got Rate and Rave tomorrow. Also, episode 267 to 268. I do believe. Well, like I said, we have a new member of the crew, William the Conqueror Braun. We'll see what he has for us, and we're going to have a little bit of fun time. So thank you very much for tuning in, and Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and until next episode, hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.